Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Lydia here for Beat Your Anxiety. And as I mentioned before, if you didn't catch my live for for um, that I did last week, I'm just trying to get rid of all these pop-ups here. And if you all can't hear me, please let me know. So like I mentioned last week, I will be putting up videos every Monday and every Monday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, all related to the topic of how to deal with, how to manage, and how to eliminate and heal anxiety. So the topic I want to talk about today is how to properly deal with negative emotions. When I talk to clients, one of their biggest complaints is that they just don't know what to do when they start to feel angry or they start to feel stressed out or when they start to feel upset or jealousy or panic attacks and things like that. And often our first inclination is to kind of close down, is to try and pretend nothing's there. And maybe you're one of these people who uses positive self-talk or affirmations. And what I find is that those people who are out there, perhaps you've taken some affirmations from YouTube or from a friend of yours, or some affirmation that made you feel good, and you find that things just aren't sticking. And that is the biggest complaint that I hear from clients coming in my doors, that we get all these techniques from therapy, right? And things just aren't sticking. It's as if we're, like I said before, trying to stretch out a rubber band that just keeps snapping right back into place. So what is the proper way of actually dealing with these strong negative emotions? And it doesn't even have to be a strong negative emotion. It can just be maybe of an inkling of a little bit of irritation, a little bit of anger. And like I said, most people have a tendency to want to close down, to kind of shut down, to kind of hold on to. And that's exactly what's happening, is when we shut down, when we try to dismiss or pretend that these feelings aren't coming up, maybe we rationalize our pain, our fears away. And what we're doing is we actually end up holding on to these feelings. We actually end up storing this feeling in our nervous system. And it continues to come up. It continues to try and bombard you. It continues to try and get your attention when you're perhaps trying to focus on something else, or maybe the same pattern comes up with the same situation or the same person or the same people. And it really ends up just getting stored with you, and you end up taking it with you rather than eliminating it and letting it pass through you. So what I teach my clients is, imagine as if you were if you could think about like an outlet, if you could think about like plugging a plug into an outlet. When you plug, let's say you're plugging in like a lamp, right? And you plug that plug into the outlet, and then you hit that on switch and the lamp turns on. There's an energy that's moving through this cord right into the wall. And this cord isn't reacting. It's not, trying to push things away. It's not trying to use positive self-talk. It's not trying to dismiss or pretend nothing's happening. This energy is just moving through the cord. It's just moving into the wall. And I think that's a great metaphor for when emotions are coming up in you, is to allow them to pass through you rather than close down. Now, what does this mean, right? Because what I said here is pretty loaded. Because if somebody said this to me, I wouldn't know what the heck they were talking about. So what I mean by is when emotion is coming up within you, let's say that perhaps somebody said something that irritated you, and maybe hours have gone by and you're sitting on your couch, maybe you're watching TV, and all of a sudden this feeling starts to come up in you, and you start to maybe even replay your argument or your discussion from just a few hours ago. Well, what ends up happening is, unless you lean into why this is happening, asking yourself a question like, why is this coming up? why am I feeling this? What am I feeling? Versus things like what's wrong with me or what's wrong with the other person, right? There's nothing wrong in this world. And this is the first place people get stuck, is to get stuck in this battle of right and wrong, this battle, getting stuck in the content of what's coming up versus actually what's happening. And what's happening is we're having an argument with ourselves and we're making ourselves angry and irritated. That's actually what's happening, right? Because the person doesn't have to be there in order for you to be irritated. And it's in this moment, if you want to eliminate it rather than hold on to it, is to lean into it, asking yourself questions like, well, why is this irritating? What am I making this comment that this person said mean about me? What's the meaning I am constructing from this event for me? Because it's not the comment that irritated you, but it's the meaning, it's what you're taking away from it, what you're carrying with you is what's creating that irritation now. So what I mean by letting it pass through is almost imagine as if you're the cord of that lamp, and you turn that lamp is plugged in, you've turned on that lamp, and that energy is passing through you. And again, that plug isn't having a temper tantrum. That plug, that wire isn't having a temper tantrum. It's not getting angry. It's not trying to discard or dismiss or pretend. This energy is just flowing through you. This energy is just flowing through the cord. And it'll stop, right? Every emotion that comes up in you will eventually also go away, will also dissipate. But if you don't research, if you don't lean into, rather than close down, pretend, rationalize your anger away, rationalizing your irritation away, pretending it's not a big deal, right, when it actually is. And I see this with my clients a lot in the office, is they rationalize their irritations or their angers, and they make themselves wrong for their feelings. And this is a whole nother rabbit hole we'll go down in the future. But for now, what I would like you to take away from this video is you monitor yourself today. Monitor your feelings as you're moving throughout your day. And notice what feelings bubble up inside of you. You'll notice things like joy, things like excitement, things like irritation, things like anger, right? Perhaps maybe sadness. And there is no right or wrong. Whatever comes up for you is right? And if there's something that doesn't feel good, is to, instead of trying to pretend it's not there or trying to push it away with positive self-talk or rationalizing or making yourself wrong for this feeling, is to ask, what's happening right now that I'm creating this? How am I creating this myself? Am I having an argument? Am I replaying an argument in my head? Am I playing an argument that has never happened? Am I imagining something happening in the future? How am I making myself irritated or angry or uncomfortable or stressed out? And then a follow-up question would be, now how can what needs to change? What do I need to change so that I can start to feel calm or relaxed or at peace or myself, right? And whatever your goal is, it'll be different for everybody. But a great example, one that I like to use is what do I need to change now so that I can feel like my authentic self again, so that I can just be myself. And this is all you need to know. And when you allow those emotions to come up and you allow them to pass through you, because now you're kind of dealing with it, right? You're dealing with the emotion coming up versus trying to push it away or pretend or push a balloon underwater, which is what most people do with their emotions, right? It's like we're trying to push a balloon underwater that keeps trying to push back up on us. And if you don't deal with it in the moment, it will come back. That's the thing, is if you don't deal with it in the moment, it will become a thing that you will have to deal with down the road. So why not become that superconductor of emotions where you feel the emotion bubble up within you, you pay attention to it, you ask yourself, what's going on? What am I doing now that's creating this? What is the meaning I took away from the situation? What did I what did I make it mean about me? And then what needs to change? What do I need to change so I can feel heard, seen, valued, authentic, confident, calm, um, my authentic self, right? And you will get an answer, but you will have to lean in and ask these questions versus pretending or going about your day or giving yourself excuses like, I don't have time to deal with this. I have to do this, I have to do that. Well, that's great. But if you ignored it, we'll come back. So, what I urge you all to start practicing as you go forward is noticing these emotions coming up in the moment, leaning into them, noticing what is the message in there. What do you need to pay attention to? What do you need? What does your body need? What does your unconscious need? So that you can feel calm, so that you can feel authentic, so you can feel confident, so you can feel relaxed, so you can feel seen, heard, valued, whatever your goal is. And then you will get an answer. And then you get to give that to yourself, because no one else can give this to you. And if you're relying on other people to give you this, then, this is where sort of becoming a people pleaser comes into the picture. And this is one thing that I specialize in and work with clients in, and I'll shoot videos more on that down the road. But for right now, this is just one little thing you can start to practice, you can start to take away, so that you don't have to keep dealing with the same things over and over and over again, the same feelings coming up, the same messages, the same things, right? Like it's you're making something about you when you're feeling discomfort, right? Or something about the situation that's uncomfortable. And this is something you're creating and carrying with you in your body. And until you allow it to move into you and pass through you, and this may look like crying, right? This may look like punching a pillow. This may look like screaming out loud. This may look like you throwing some china around, and be careful with that one, please. Make sure you're safe. This may look like you taking a walk outside, allowing it to pass through you. Maybe it's giving yourself that validation, giving yourself that empathy, that compassion. That's often what people are missing too. This is what I mean by allowing it to pass through you, is giving you what you need so that you can feel the way that you would rather feel. All right, that's it for this video. If you have questions, if you want to know more, just comment underneath this video. Like I said, I'll be coming to you every Monday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with more on this topic on how to beat your anxiety, how to eliminate your anxiety, and giving you all kinds of tools and techniques, and there'll be a lot more coming down the road. So if you want to know more, please feel free to private message me or comment below on this video on your thoughts and how has this helped you, or have you tried this before in your own life? And maybe if you need any help, if you need more further guidance, post to this page and I will be happy to chime in and answer any questions. So this is Lydia from beatyouranxiety.com, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your week.